So later today, I'll get into the preview for tomorrow's games as we come back to hockey tomorrow. And I'm wearing, this is the first time I've worn this in a video, the Montreal Canadiens. This is a 1950s throwback. For people who are wondering what's the difference, the red and the blue are different shades than on their current jersey. It's a much darker red that they have now. And the C is a little bit longer and a little bit more open than on their current jersey. It's a minor difference, but it's kind of nice to have. I like the CCM jerseys. So I got it from Cool Hockey. It was the last one that they had in stock, apparently, because as soon as I ordered it, it said out of stock. So we're going to see 3 games tomorrow. I have a live stream scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. I don't see any need to change that because it's just going to change which game is on at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Actually, the game starts at 9, but the live stream will start at 10. And then Monday, which is, of course, the Patreon stream, I'm leaning towards, I don't know, maybe I'll do that one when there isn't even a game on at that time. That might be kind of fun, too. It's kind of fun to do the Patreon hangout streams sometimes when there's not hockey on. We can just chat. So, we'll start with Philadelphia and the Islanders, which was supposed to be the 9 a.m. game tomorrow. But now that's the 4 p.m. game tomorrow. And then Sunday, they play at 5 p.m. These times are Pacific. So if you're wondering about the timing, I've put Pacific on the board. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're on the East Coast, you add 3 hours. So 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m. And then Thursday and Saturday are if they're needed. So they're not scheduled for a certain time yet because we don't know whether or not we're going to need games 6 and 7 in that series between Philadelphia and the Islanders. And for the Islanders, the extra days off, I think, help. I think for teams that played through the play-in round like Vancouver and the Islanders, I think this helps. These teams are tired whether they'll admit it or not, and I think an extra couple of days off is welcome. So for the Islanders, they'll be looking to bounce back from what was their worst game of the return against Philadelphia a couple of days ago. And for Philadelphia, they'll be looking to just do more of the same. Boston and Tampa, they get back at it, as I said, 9 a.m. tomorrow. 4 p.m. Wednesday is when, or 4 p.m. Monday is when they'll have game 5. And then Wednesday and Thursday would be 6 and 7. So there's your back-to-backs. The back-to-backs here are now Saturday, Sunday. The back-to-backs here are Wednesday and Thursday. Everybody has back-to-backs. Vancouver has multiple back-to-backs now if that series goes 7. So, yeah, there you go. Tampa Bay and Boston, 4 games left at most. And Wednesday and Thursday are the ones that are if needed. So that's the reason, again, why there's no timing on that. And the Eastern hubs, we've got the 9 a.m., 3, 4 p.m.s, and a 5 p.m. So there isn't really any overlap except Sunday. Sunday, it is possible that Colorado and Dallas and Philadelphia and the Islanders will both be fighting for my attention at the same time. Colorado and Dallas are playing Sunday at 3 p.m. So Sunday at 3 p.m. for them. And then Monday, 6:45 p.m. So back-to-backs right out of the gate for the Colorado-Dallas series. And then if needed, Game 6 will be on Wednesday. And Friday will be Game 7. And keep in mind that if these series wrap up early, we will see the conference finals start pretty much immediately thereafter. I don't think there will be a day off unless there has to be. And if there's overlap between this series and the next one, then that's the way it'll work. As others have stated, that's sort of like the NBA rules. Kind of, sort of, yeah. And honestly, this is just for this year. You won't see it again next year. So, the last series to look at is Vegas and Vancouver. And if you're on the East Coast or if you're in Europe, these are the games you may have a hard time staying up to watch. And yet, this might be the most exciting of the 4 series. So while Dallas has their 2-1 series lead, Tampa has a 2-1 series lead, Philadelphia and the Islanders are tied, Vegas and Vancouver are tied. And for Vancouver, you have to feel somewhat fortunate. And again, Vancouver with the extra days off, I really think that benefits them. I think it benefits Markstrom, who has played a ton of hockey. I'm aware that the other teams that weren't in the play-in round were still playing the round-robin games. But even listen to Marchand, and it's like, well, we were treating those like they were preseason games. So it's not the same level of intensity or punishment that was going on in those games. So the Vegas-Vancouver series will feature 2 back-to-backs if this goes 7. They play tomorrow at 6:45 p.m., again Pacific, Sunday 7:30 p.m., Tuesday at 6:45 p.m., and then Thursday and Friday, Game 6 and 7 back-to-back. So this series will be done a week from today at the latest. The latest that any series can go is the Saturday finish, next Saturday that is, between Philadelphia and the Islanders. The earliest we can have everything done is Tuesday. So if the teams with the momentum, or if the teams that are tied 1-1, whoever wins Game 3 goes on to win the whole thing right away, we could be done by Tuesday. We could be having the conference finals by Wednesday. So again, this is about getting things done, getting it so that we get a proper Stanley Cup champion, and doing it in a timely manner so that they can get this season wrapped up and get next season percolating and figured out as quickly as possible. I know that they're having meetings, I would think almost daily, on how next season's going to work and what they're going to do to make it work. And Bill Daly, who is the vice president of the league, has even said they are looking at hopefully having some sort of capacity with fans. Last night I watched AEW because at the time, and they did have, I think it was 500 fans in attendance, and it was different. I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is different. So hearing fans in attendance at a sporting event all of a sudden feels different again. So yeah, we'll see what the NHL comes up with for next season. Yeah. Now, news of the day. The Washington Capitals, Brian McClellan said they are looking for a coach with NHL experience. So Todd Reardon, who did not have previous experience as an NHL coach, that's not something that they're interested in having. And I think, I've heard people say, what about Peter Laviolette? If Laviolette wants to get back into the game, that'd probably be a perfect spot for him. And we'll see what they do. But clearly Washington is in no rush to necessarily hire a new coach right away. And they're taking their time. And that can be the best scenario. Now, the reason I'm wearing the Montreal jerseys, the Montreal jersey, I should say, is Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who has come out and said that he figures that the pause helped him. Gave him some time off to relax a bit and also build up his strength, and he felt that made him a better player. So there will be young players that the pause helped them. There are going to be some players who say the pause doesn't. And in the case of Mike Green, the pause gives him a different perspective on things, and he decides, I'm going to spend time with my family and retire. So the pause is going to affect different players in different ways. And we'll see going into next season how many veterans decide to hang him up and how many veterans actually say, well, I was going to, but I didn't like the way last season ended, so I've decided I'm going to come back for one more year. So we'll see. Justin Williams, I'm looking at him. That's the one I'm wondering. I know he said this was the last time. I know he said this is it. I won't come back again. But just with the way that ended for Carolina, somewhere I think his competitive drive is telling him, I don't want it to end that way. I think I want to do one more season if I can. So we'll see what happens. And I haven't been reporting on this in News of the Day because, honestly, that's going to be happening a lot. So I'm just going to throw this in here. Many players are going to be loaned out to European leagues. There are going to be NHLers who are loaned out to European leagues. There are going to be prospects loaned out to European leagues because the European leagues are getting ready to get going now. And so the European leagues are going to start playing on time. And for NHL teams that aren't going to play until December, you get your players on the ice, you get them game ready, and then you have a leg up when it comes to training camp and getting ready for next season, which is still tentatively slated to begin December 1st of this coming year. So we'll see. And by this coming year, I mean in 2020, not in 2021. And Shadow appears. So he was causing problems. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see those players come back. That's why I'm not really reporting on it, because those players are all going to come back to the NHL. They're just being loaned out to the European leagues. Today, Philip Hronek, for instance, from Detroit, loaned out to European League. It's mildly newsworthy if they have really good runs in Europe, but even then, we'll see what's going on between now and then. But it's going to be busy. It's going to be very, very busy, even after the Stanley Cup's done, because we're going into the draft then, and then we go into free agency, and then we're into training camp like a couple weeks after that. So, hey, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.